perfect to have it rain like this, I think.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Most farmers should expect a little bit of rain. And that's what we got.
Want me to hold that?
Yeah, that'd be even better.
Yeah, hold it.
These are two spotted salamander egg masses.
We get a close up.
First thing a lot of people notice is that the egg masses are bigger than the salamander. Okay, when they actually lay these eggs, usually the entire mass is about the diameter of a nickel or a quarter. Overnight, or maybe by the end of the next 24 hours, they're going to sponge up enough water to be that size. Probably about 80 embryos in there, and you can see that the embryos have a little bit of a crescent shape to them already. So that means they've probably been developing for more than a week. At some point you can actually come out here and find really well developed little embryos actually wiggling around in there. So anywho, I find that a lot of people think that the blue spotted salamander, a lot of the books say that the shape is everything. It isn't. I found blue spotted eggs that look exactly like spotted salamander eggs. The difference is when you touch them. And actually, as long as you don't have any gookum or insect repellent or anything like that on your hands, I don't think it'll hurt to touch these. It's like Jell-O that's been in the refrigerator for quite a long time. If you do that with a blue spotted salamander egg mass, you're going to be looking at your finger, wondering if any of it got on there, because they're much slimier. And that's the way I tell the difference between the blue spots and the spotteds, is just the feel of it. It would be pretty cool. And I don't know where the wood frog eggs are, because I think they've already hatched.
Thanks.
Now this lovely little thing is actually a great tree frog, which is a vernal pool facultative species. They'll also breed in other wetlands, but
I never knew they got that big.
they're a little bigger than that.
Really?
Yeah, I had females like twice that size.
Females are bigger, yeah.
Quite something.
And they have probably
They
already
with me.
started calling as a result of this warm spring we're having, and it's kind of a very percussive, almost sounds like a woodpecker, and it's very short. Differing from a toad, so by the fact that a toad can go on for quite some time. Now here's our little wood frog hiding out, and that is a vernal pool obligate species. So if you find wood frogs or their eggs, you have probably found a vernal pool. The reason for that is these vernal pools, of course, dry up. They have no fish.
Grab that.
Obligate means they need it.
frog?
Facultative
Eggs and
means they
larvae
use
are
it,
so
right?
delicious to fish that they really can't exist in a fish pool. So if you found one, like somebody just give that lid a tweak, it looks like it's starting to come open a little bit. Here's the blue spotted salamander that I was talking about a little earlier. This one isn't very spotted, but you can notice on the feet and on the sides of it, they get those lovely little blue flecks.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
Here's our spotted salamander, and this is a female, so it's quite possible that some of these eggs that we're looking at right now came from a female that looked very much like this. And it's just like fingerprints. There are no two spotted salamanders that look the same. So if you really cared to, you could tell every single one of them apart by their little dots, the pattern, the size, the color, how many of them, all that kind of stuff.
Blue spot.
And here's our fall breeder, the marbled salamander. Really a handsome little beast. And the females will actually come to these pools in the fall, and they'll lay their eggs in the dry pool. They'll stay with the eggs until it starts to rain, and then when that pool fills up, they get a jump start on all the other larvae.
Oh yeah.
So by next spring, they should be much larger than the newly hatched spotted salamanders, and of course that means they can eat them. So a little bit of an advantage.
They're evil.
Did you see all that? Okay.
Which guy's that? Marbled?
Yep.
Is that your own personal collection?
Yeah, actually, we share an office with Kestrel Educational Adventures, and they keep the amphibians and I keep the snakes, and then we share them. So they do more school programs and stuff than I do, and
Female, right?
it sure looks like it, yeah. Give them a little spritz. And I think Tigran would have probably said something if he found a raft of wood frog eggs. They probably hatched like a week or two ago, because that's when I was starting to see them hatch up in my neighborhood. And it's just possible that there's really nothing left of the egg masses now. which is why we can't find them, or we just can't find them. So anyway,
Well, a scoop of the net would pull out tadpoles, wouldn't it?
here's yeah. The thing is that finding tadpoles in a pool this size is kind of tricky. But if they just hatched, they'll be right around those egg masses, and so that's what I was kind of hoping to find. But anyway, just in case you're interested, I don't want to go into too much about it, but just the certification process, which, by the way, Massachusetts is the first state to offer any protection for vernal pools, even though they feed more forest wildlife than any kind of wetland, with all these amphibians hatching out of here and cruising up into the woods where other stuff can eat them. So if you get 5 egg masses like this and you photograph them, there's your evidence that you've got a vernal pool. You still need to describe the pool, how big it is, locate it on some maps, and fill out a form, which is basically the description of the pool and what you saw. And then you can certify these pools, which is how you protect them.
Or if they're fungus stuff. Yeah, the way, yeah, that's gotta be silt. Look at it. It's coming up at the bottom. Where the hell, where it come from? I would think all the grass there would stop any debris from getting in there.
You taking water samples too?
I just caught few potholes.
Oh, in a syringe.
That's how tiny they are.
Wow.
They're barely recognizable as tadpoles. They look like little black flakes.
Get some. Are these egg? Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's egg masses over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't look so good.
If you look down by the reeds here, you can see a tadpole moving.
Well,